They went missing in the fall of 2019.
Police confirmed their mother, Lori Vallow, is hopping islands in Hawaii with her husband, Chad Daybell.
Their remains were found buried on Daybell's property.
They're searching.
Okay, baby. I love you.
Detectives and investigators have recovered what's believed to be human remains.
Breaking news now out of East Idaho. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell have been charged.
Lori and Chad Daybell were indicted on 2 counts of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and grand theft by deception for the deaths of Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow. Lori and Chad Daybell were also indicted on the charge of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder in the death of Tammy Daybell.
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hi guys, so this is kind of a last minute video, so don't worry about this. So I want to go over the indictment because it reveals information we didn't know before, and then once you take that information, combining it with what we do know, then I feel like there's more information that we kind of find out. So, and I also would love to know what you guys think. This timeline is so intense and there's so many things, so maybe you guys can make a connection that I didn't. Okay, so let's get started. This is the indictment. Then there's the section where it talks about overt acts. So the first overt act is on or between October 26, 2018 and June 9th, 2020, Chad Guy Daybell did endorse and espouse religious beliefs for the purpose of encouraging and or justifying the homicide of Tylee Ryan. And I think it's really interesting when we look at these dates, what this means. This date is the beginning of their conspiracy to do this. And if you'll remember, on October 30th, 2018, there was that infamous email between Lori and Chad, the one that discusses her family history and the light and dark spirits, where he ranks and scores them. You know, that Dungeons and Dragons thing, how like Tylee was dark and Joseph Ryan was sealed away and all that stuff, was on October 30th, 2018. So 4 days into this date range, 4 days after they started conspiring is when this email was sent. I think that we could assume maybe that, sorry about my dog, that this sort of ranking is when they started planning to end people, because the people in this ranking who were listed as dark ended up dead, and so it kind of seems like this is the beginnings of that. Then on December 5th, 2018, so a few months after this email, is when Lori and Chad do a podcast together, the Warrior Up podcast, which is with Melanie Gibb and Jason Mao. A month later, in January of 2019, is when we have another email that we know between Lori and Chad, which is the 7 missions to accomplish together. And they talk about things they need to do before the end of the world, like translating ancient records, identifying locations in Arizona for white camps, and so on and so forth. It makes me wonder, like, how long were they planning this? Going back to the indictment, they talk about how on or about August 16, 2019, Lori Noreen Vallow did change the deposit of Tylee Ryan's Social Security benefits from Tylee Ryan's JP Morgan Chase account to deposit money directly into Lori Noreen Vallow's personal BBVA bank account. How disgusting. I mean, can you just imagine, like, the moment where she like checks her account and then the money is deposited that month from her daughter, which she, like, allegedly, my conspiracy, don't sue me, killed or helped kill, and she's like spending that money knowing where it came from. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Then we get some details on something that Chad did on the day that Tylee, we think, was killed, because she was last seen on the 8th, and it appears as though that's when she was killed. It says here that Chad Guy Daybell Googled SSW wind and visited a website entitled "What is the definition of SSW wind direction?" I went ahead and Googled that too, and I thought it was like southwesterly winds, which I guess is kind of what it basically says. It's the wind direction, and it's blowing from the south-southwest and thus blowing towards the north-northeast. Knowing what we know about the fact that, you know, they had a fire and they tried to burn Tylee's remains, then we can assume that the wind, him searching about the wind, is to see, you know, where that smoke would blow and the direction it would blow in. I'm guessing, I don't know. Now we're talking about JJ, and it's very similar. A lot of the same people and the same things in the beginning about the, you know, Chad, Lori, and Alex being the ones who are co-conspirators, as well as both known and unknown people. Then on September 23rd, Alex Cox did take possession of JJ Vallow, and I think we all kind of agree that something happened on this day or night, September 23rd, 2019. The next thing we have is November 26th. We know that's when the police showed up and Lori lied about where JJ was. And then on or between September 23rd, 2019 and February 1st, this is from the day that JJ died. And again, Lori's taking his Social Security money. Oh my God. I mean, just so, like, she's a scoundrel. A scoundrel. I mean, I can't think of another word. Well, I could, but YouTube won't let me say it. And then we have count 5, which talks about Tammy. So it's the same thing, the same 3 people, but this is a different date range. Now it's going back to October 1st, 2018 to January 15th. And it seems like Alex Cox was there nearby the day that Tammy died, based on his phone pings. So let me read you some of these overt acts. Here, number 3, text messages between Chad and Lori regarding death percentages for Tammy and JJ in messages on July 30th, 2019. So in July, they were already talking about killing Tammy. And we know that in September, they killed Tylee and JJ. And we know that, when did they kill? When did Charles Vallow get shot? So I haven't done a video on this in so long that July 2019. That's what I thought. So the same month that Alex Cox shot Charles Vallow in his home and Lori Vallow was there when she was like, oh my God, the neighbors. That month is when Lori and Chad are texting about Tammy and death percentages. And then we have Chad getting a burner phone on September 18th. So this is a few days before JJ was killed. Then we have Alex Cox obtaining a burner phone on October 9th, 2019. And then we have text messages between Chad Guy Daybell and Lori Noreen Vallow about Tammy Daybell being in limbo and Tammy being possessed by a spirit named Viola. Basically, what we got from this is, first of all, they did the same thing with Tammy that they did with Charles Vallow, which is he's been possessed by someone. Remember, he was Ned Schneider, Charles Vallow. Well, Tammy was Viola. So he did the same formula. September 8th, 2019, which we know is the day that Tylee was last seen in Yellowstone. We think that she died and was killed that day. On that same exact day, Chad Guy Daybell signed the application along with Tammy Daybell to increase her life map insurance to the maximum allowed under her policy. So the day that they killed Tylee, they signed to increase Tammy's life insurance, knowing that they were planning on killing her too. The same day. I mean, it's just so disgusting and clearly money motivated with this facade of this religious spiritual crap. We have Alex Cox attempted to shoot Tammy Daybell on October 9th, 2019. That was the same day that he got a burner phone. Then it says Alex Cox conducted multiple internet searches between the dates of October 8th and October 12th, including searches related to Grendel drop and shooting through a Dodge Dakota. And I think Grendel is like a kind of ammo. And number 10, Alex going to a gun range in the months before October 9th, 2019, when the attempted shooting of Tammy Daybell takes place. Number 11, Alex traveled from Sportsman Warehouse to the vicinity of the Daybell's residence on October 9th, 2019. So we know that he was in that location when she was shot at. Number 12 is Alex was in the church parking lot approximately 2.5 miles from the Daybell residence on the night of October 18, 2019. Wow, in the church parking lot. This is really interesting with the timeline because remember, Brandon Boudreaux was shot at too. Remember, Melanie Boudreaux, Lori's niece, her ex-husband got shot at on October 2nd. Less than a week later, on October 9th, Tammy gets shot at. Both of those did not work. Those two people, Tammy and Brandon, survived the shooting attempts. Then on October 19th is when Tammy dies, presumably poisoned. 2 months later, December 8th, is when Melanie Gibb calls Chad and Lori and records them. And this is coming on the heels of the police coming and questioning them in November, and they're lying and all that drama. So now the heat is on. So what happens? December 8th is this phone call. December 11th is when Tammy's body gets exhumed. And the next day, December 12th, is when Alex Cox dies. Then, less than a week later, or I think about a week later, on December 20th is Chad Daybell's last activity on the Vallow forum. May not be important, just something I noticed. According to his account, he was last seen on December 20th, 2019. But anyway, just thought I'd mention that. I don't know, might not be important at all. Now we have the next count, which is to do with the financial, the theft. This is the Lori thing, and now she declared herself indigent. Is that how you say that, indigent? That she doesn't have any money? Huh. So she takes the Social Security benefits, the child care benefits for Tylee and JJ. Then we have insurance fraud are the last things for Chad because of what he did with Tammy's life insurance policy. I think it's really disturbing how they justified this whole entire thing by saying these people were possessed, and it was really all about money. Brandon Boudreaux had money, Tammy money, Charles Vallow, she thought she was gonna get money. She started taking Tylee and JJ's payments. I mean, it's just so grimy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the short video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.